Brian Wright, Daily Beat 185. You only deserve what you make. Hey, it's Brian Wright from BrianWright732.com, and I'm talking about something today that's really funny. It crosses over from business to athletes to people in general. It's this idea that you don't deserve anything today because of who you were yesterday. And it's really funny, especially with athletes. I have a couple in mind that I've had to have conversations with over the years where they had earlier stages in life where they were not the best people. They were doing bad things to basically take care of themselves. And they have trouble justifying success today because of the bad things they did before. They're almost punishing themselves because of who they were and not allowing themselves to be something different. I know people in business the same way, where they've had a lot of failure in the past and they don't allow themselves to be successful today because they view that failure as a negative definition of who they are. Same thing on a personal level. There are people that have had really fucked up pasts that don't allow the present to be okay because they're putting so much weight on the past. The main thing that you have to understand is there's no deserving of anything that you don't work for. If you're willing to make it, you deserve it. There's no you're going to get because of who you've been or whatever. Nobody owes you anything. You don't owe yourself even nothing. It's literally, what are you willing to build? It's that old phrase of, how do you build the biggest building in town? You build the biggest building in town. You know, a building doesn't care about your past. A building is a technical thing that has to be built in a particular way. And if you want it to be the biggest, you have to have the engineering and the architecture and the people and the money and all the things to make it happen. Same thing in every other thing in life. No matter what it is you want to do, if you have the talent, you acquire the skill, you do the work, you can build whatever it is that's appropriate to those three things in regards to you. So when you're sitting there and you're thinking about your past and your failures or the bad things you've done, and you're judging your present based upon past behavior, you're limiting your ability to actually achieve something. When you start getting into the deserve, don't deserve, you're limiting the practical, technical ability to get things done. You've got to let go of the judgment. You've got to be analytical about the opportunities you have, about the tools that you've got, about how your experience is relating to today in a practical manner. And then you take all that and you come up with a plan, and then you execute, and then you get everything that you've planned for. But if you don't build the blueprint for what you want and then execute, you're never going to get anything. It has nothing to do with deserve. It has nothing to do with where you've been or what you've done or any of that. There are a lot of people, I'm going to be judgmental here and I'm going to say there are a lot of bad people in the world that have a lot of things that you are going to want. It doesn't necessarily mean that they got it because they deserved it. It means because they did what they had to do to get it. So for you, you have to figure out what it is you want, figure out what you have to do to get it, and then you just have to go get it done. And stop making harder by adding judgments of your past and previous behavior. There's nothing that says because yesterday you were one thing, today you can't be another. You can be disconnected from your real value for forever, and then wake up one day and boom, you're good. It's like the guy who did Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Colonel. He was in his 60s on the verge of suicide, and he created Kentucky Fried Chicken and died a wealthy man. It doesn't matter if you wake up when you're 60 or you wake up when you're 16. As long as you wake up to what the truth is for who you are and what you want, and then you connect the work and the skill and all that to it, that's it. There's no magic in this. There's no universal whatever. It's see what you want, develop the plan, execute the plan, done deal. Money doesn't care who you are. Effort doesn't care who you are. Nothing really cares who you think you are. You are who you are at this moment in time, and you're willing to do the work or you're not. If you're willing to do the work, no matter what your past is, you can get shit done today. You don't have to convince yourself. You don't have to do anything. You just have to do the work. It's that simple. So stop judging them on past performance. Recognize who you really are. Develop that plan and just go for it. Build the biggest building in town. It's that simple and complex at the same time, because it's simple in terms of choice. You either do it or you don't do it. It's complex in terms of execution because there's talent and skill and effort involved. And those things are complicated, but they're not complicated like emotionally. They're complicated just in regards to you need to make sure you know everything, you have everything in place, and then you're willing to work your ass off to implement. That's the complexity of it. It's not my mom, my dad, my spouse, my child, my whatever. You've got to just let all of it go. Anyone else's judgment of you has no bearing on your ability to execute unless you make it an issue. That's your choice. So you can take your past and make it an obstacle, or you cannot worry about your past and just get done what has to get done today. It's really that simple. You want to be world champ, be world champ. Do the work. Fight the fights. If you don't have the natural talent to do it, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. You know, not all of us can be John Jones. What the fuck? The guy's like, what is he like, 6'5", 6'6", with like 89-inch reach? I'm 5'10". I don't even know what my reach is, but I sure as shit know it's not 89 inches. You know? So you've got to be analytical that way, and you've got to understand that you're not just going to play in the NFL because you want to play in the NFL. You've got to be, you know, talented and skilled enough to play in the NFL. So just understand, what is your NFL? What are you going to be world class at? What do you have the talent and the skills and the drive to do? Just figure that shit out. Go all in on it. You're good. Stop judging. Be analytical. Figure it out. All right, this is Brian. I'm out.